In the Air Force, it's often said that an assignment is only as interesting as you make it. Well, for airmen stationed at Andersen Air Force Base, troops and families alike are getting off their couches and making the most of what their unique assignment of Guam provides. The Outdoor Rec hosts an island-wide World War II tour which highlights some of the most influential places that impacted the Battle of Guam in 1944.
I think it's important that anybody who goes to an overseas location should first of all know the history and the culture of the land in which they are protecting.
23-year resident and retired Master Sergeant Ray Steers takes the responsibility upon himself to make sure that the island of Guam is paid the historical respect it deserves.
I do the tour and it motivates me because I know that we have many deployers that come into Andersen that really have no information on what the history and the culture about Guam is.
With Guam being an island of so much natural beauty, it's hard to imagine it being the site of some of the bloodiest battles in the Pacific Theater, but it was, such as right here on Aston Beach on July 21st, 1944, when thousands of Marines rushed up this coastline in an amphibious assault that would start the Battle of Guam.
The invasion of Guam came after a 17-day naval and aerial bombardment, setting a record for the amount of munitions dropped on any location at that point. The only place the Japanese could go to stay alive was underground, making the duration of the battle a deadly game of hide-and-seek.
To protect themselves from the ongoing air raids, the Japanese built an extensive series of caves in the cliffs. These caves kept the Japanese very well protected and made them very hard to find. And now they're open to the public, so if you're brave enough, you can come check them out yourself.
The Battle of Guam would end up being a brutal 3-week-long pursuit of liberation that all troops residing in Guam should learn and appreciate.
I really didn't know any of the history of Guam outside of what I learned growing up, which is very little to nothing. I've driven past a lot of these sites, dozens and dozens of times. Some of them you would have no idea that they meant anything, but you get enough history where you understand the part that Guam played in World War II. Historically, I loved it. It's great.
Every assignment offers something different, so it's important to go out and make the most of the land you're defending. Reporting from Andersen Air Force Base, I'm Airman First Class Adam Harder.